can't believe I've moved from making Battlefield details videos to Call of Duty details videos. Times surely have changed, that's for sure, but I'm kinda happy with that. I've been waiting for so long to make videos on games besides Battlefield, so if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for some epic gaming content. And if you're not new, thank you for watching my non-Battlefield related content, I promise they are good. Anyway, Modern Warfare 2 has just been remastered. At least the campaign, which is also pretty cool. It's an amazing campaign. It's not the legendary multiplayer unfortunately, but I still have a feeling that we will see Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer remaster somewhere down the line, and I'll explain that very shortly. First, let's focus on some things, some awesome little details. This Modern Warfare 2 campaign remaster is a masterpiece. Just like what they did with the Call of Duty 4 remaster, they absolutely nailed it. There are only a few gunshot sounds which have changed from the original, which is kinda dumb. They did the same thing to the Deagle in Call of Duty 4 remastered, one of the most iconic gunshot sounds in that game. And now, in this game, they did the same with arguably the most iconic gunshot sound ever in any video game has been replaced. From this to this. That instant MLG quickscope gunshot that sounds so familiar and that everybody knows is gone in the remaster. Really dumb, but enough of that. I want to show you guys some insanely cool details in this remaster. Some of the things they have decided to change or added in the remaster compared to the original is honestly so cool. Let me show you. First, can we please appreciate how Soap looks here? So detailed, so alive, so handsome? Damn, Soap do be looking kinda hot though, not gonna lie. No, but for real, the added detail is in my opinion very impressive. We got some new animations, also some new animations on Roach as well. Previously you would just, awkwardly walk along this ledge. Now you have your back against the wall while going to the right, really cool stuff. Now another thing they added to the Modern Warfare 2 remastered compared to the original is weapon inspection. Simply press down on the keypad and you're doing a weapon inspection in first person. Kinda cool in my opinion. They did the same thing with the Call of Duty 4 remastered, and it's now here in the Modern Warfare 2 campaign remaster. A weapon inspection in the campaign. That's interesting. We're gonna talk about that later. But what's interesting with these weapon inspections is that you can do it on literally anything you are holding. Like these ice picks, for example. These ice picks are only in this specific segment in the game, in the entire game I should add. This scene where you are climbing up the ice wall for about a minute or two is the only time in the entire campaign, as far as I know, where you can see these things in first person, yet you can still weapon inspect them. And they have a unique animation as well. At first I thought this was simply a reused weapon inspect animation from the Call of Duty 4 remastered, because in the multiplayer you did have some new melee weapons, one of which was an ice pick called Cliffhanger, obviously the same name as this iconic mission. But that's not the case, because in the Call of Duty 4 remaster you have only one ice pick, and here you have one in each hand, and the animation is much different. So I say again, I know I've been going on talking about ice picks for a little bit too long now, but the fact that they added this weapon inspect on these weapons that is only in the entire game for about 2 minutes is a little bit strange to me. It looks like they could be used in the multiplayer, where a weapon inspect makes much more sense, with different skins and different attachments and whatnot. But let's move on to some other details. The heartbeat sensor also got changed a little bit. Now if you move around, the dots kinda, smudges away, which is a cool effect in my opinion. But this whole mission Cliffhanger has much more to show. The moment you and Soap are splitting up, there is this blizzard going on where you can move very stealthy. In the original, nothing really special happens here, but a cool new added detail in the remaster is that when the snowstorm is brewing up, you put on your goggles. Such a small but cool little added detail. This is what I mean when I say they nailed the remaster. It's things like this. They didn't have to do it. If they didn't, nobody would say anything or notice anything, but now that they did, it makes you think like, yeah, okay, it makes sense. There is a snowstorm, I'm gonna put on my goggles. Another added animation, which is totally unnecessary again, but very cool, is when most people did their first stealth knife kill in the original. In the original, this happened.
Alright, I've tapped into their comms. Head southeast and plant your C4 at the fueling station. We may need to go to plan B if things go south.
Just a simple knife stab, nothing special. In the remaster, however, they added this whole new takedown animation.
Station. We may need to go to plan B if things go south. Nice one.
Again, some people would just silently maybe shoot this guy in the head and move on. Some wouldn't even come through this place at all. But for the people who do come through here and decided to knife this guy, they were greeted with this awesome new takedown animation, which looks pretty awesome if I say so myself. Now let's go back to some weapon inspections, because some of them are really cool and really detailed. Let's start with the model of 1887. OG Modern Warfare 2 players know this shotgun. This was legendary back in the day. Akimbo 1887s were so overpowered, and that's why they are so notorious. Well, in the remaster they made the gun look a lot better in my opinion. They have 1887 engraved on it on the side, and when you do this weapon inspect animation, your character kinda looks at the 1887 engraving with awe, and maybe that's a little homage to its status back in the day. Maybe not, but I don't know, I like to think it is, and I think it's really cool. But like I said, you can inspect everything in this game. You can inspect claymores. Don't forget to point this side towards the enemy, I still love that. Even the W1200 shotgun, which should not even be in the game, it can only be found in the museum when you kill this guy, has a weapon inspect. It's pretty insane. Also in the mission Exodus, you have this support vehicle which you can designate positions for to strike. You do this with a laser in the original. You had a laser attached to your regular weapon, nothing really that special. But in the remaster they went ahead and created a whole new weapon model that functions as, that laser. And I know at first glance you would think that this is the G18, but trust me, it's not. Yet again, it has a weapon inspection. Even javelins have a weapon inspection animation. And even the shield. Also, when you do a melee attack with a shield, it's a little bit different compared to the original, which again, I think is pretty cool. Also, certain guns, like the SCAR or the AK for example, have a different weapon inspect animation when equipped with an underbarrel grenade launcher. Look, this is without one, and this is with an underbarrel grenade launcher. As you can see, he now moves his left hand on the magazine. I don't know, these little things just always gets to me, I just like to point them out. Now I want to show you some of my favorite added details compared to the original. I will do it side by side. We start with the end of the No Russian mission. This scene is already slightly different from the start, which is pretty cool, but you know me, I like to look at little details that are often overlooked. For example, in the original, when the SWAT team comes and finds you, they simply look at you like this a little bit and then the next mission starts. But in the remaster, they have a way more realistic approach. They kick your gun away first and then they check in on you. Those little touches are just so cool in my opinion. Or this little detail, in the beginning scene of the Gulag mission. In the original, you sit beside Soap and he just, sits there, looks awesome, but a pretty static model. But in the remaster, look at his hair. Yes, it moves in the wind. Again, this is the original and this is the remaster. A subtle detail that nobody would care about or really notice. But I do care about it and I do notice it and I love it, and if they didn't add it, nobody would notice it. I love this so much. In the same mission, towards the end when you find Price, there are also some awesome little differences. For example, when Price knocks you out, in the remaster he's exhausted. You can see he was just in a fight, he's tired.
Drop it!
In the original that's not the case, he just simply looks at you while aiming at you. Nothing really indicates that he was in such a heavy struggle, you know what I mean? Also in the remaster he has these chains on his arms. Again, pretty cool touch. Towards the end of the mission, when you evacuate the building in the coolest way possible, look at the difference when you secure yourself to a rope. In the original you just, clip yourself on that rope, but there isn't anything to hold you in place. That always bugged me, even back in 2009, but sure enough, in the remaster, they added this knot to secure yourself. They thought of everything. Who thinks of this? This shows that the remaster got a lot of love and attention, as it should. One of the most legendary games ever made in my opinion. Also look at the difference in Second Son. In the original, you're simply there, nothing really changes. Yeah, obviously your whole perspective changes from Earth to outer space, but you're simply just there. In the remaster, however, you have again this cool little starting animation. Or for example how you place these C4 charges on these bodies. In the original you just place them, like you press square and they just teleport there, but in the remaster you can place them, under the arm like this with again a custom unique animation. It makes way more sense, it looks cool, and again, little touches like these, I just love them. And now to finish the video off, we have two very small details. One is this one. Whenever you get too close to fire or something really hot, no, not soap, but things like this fire, you put up your left hand like this, shielding yourself from the heat, indicating that it's really hot, and I think that's pretty cool. And this last one is pretty funny actually, which I discovered on accident. In the ending of the Hornet's Nest mission, when you need to jump to the helicopter to safety, if you miss and fall to your death, you actually hear Roach scream as he falls. I'm pretty sure this is the only time where you can hear Roach in first person, which is kind of funny. Kind of sad, but also kind of funny. Anyway, that's about it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying different things, different games on the channel and whatnot, and I would really appreciate it if my current audience would stick around and watch, and new people as well, even if it's not Battlefield related. Drop a thumbs up if you liked the video. Massive thank you to my Patreon supporters. I'm actually freezing up my Patreon account very soon, so don't become a new member if you were thinking about it. I'm gonna explain why very soon, but until then, thanks for watching and I see you guys next time.